Hi, this is Kevin England. I'm here with my wife Sharon. We're going to collect a swarm today. We're here at the East Amwell School in Ringgoes, New Jersey. They called and they have in this little atrium a hive hanging, a colony hanging in here. And as I'm looking at the colony, I'm seeing bees do waggle dance, which is the signal that they're scouting for a location. We've brought some equipment with us and we're going to collect it. Let me talk real quickly about how this is going to work. I'm going to spray the bees down with the sugar water solution that should keep the outer bees from flying, and hopefully I'm going to collect them in a box and put them in a hive, and then they'll come back and keep collecting, and we'll shortly just keep coming back and collecting whatever's there until we get the vast majority of the bees and put them in the hive. So let's get started on this. So pretty much prepared. I put a suit on. I'm going to veil up. The way these bees are, they come out of the hive, they really shouldn't be dangerous whatsoever. They have no hive to defend. And the other thing to consider is that when you're looking at the colony itself, they've all filled up with honey and their honey stomachs are full, and they probably can't even bend to sting you if they want. I could literally take my bare hand and put it up inside, and they should not have a problem with that, as you'll see when I start to work with them. Now I'm set up, I have a cover for the box that I'm going to use. I'm literally going to spray them with my water bottle. This has a sugar water solution in it, and I'm going to get them wet on the outside so they can't fly away. The bees in the middle aren't going to be impacted. They probably will fly, and again, as I said just a moment ago, we'll be putting them back together. What I have over here is I have a hive box set up. I have 10 frames. Everything's put together so that the box cannot come apart when need be, and we pulled the center frames out to dump the bees in. I'll literally put the bees in this box, dump them in here, and put the hive cover back on it, and then we'll just keep collecting the bees until we got all the ones we're going to have. So as you look at this colony, you see this bee right here. Maybe you can or can't see it, but you see a number of bees doing a waggle dance. What they're doing is they're leaving the colony here and they're going out to some location, and they're looking for a place to find a new home. All the bees that have found a potential location will come back and dance for that location. Eventually, the one that dances the best, others will go check that location, and that's how they're going to figure out what their new home is. We have other plans for them, though. We're taking them to our house. I'm not technically worried about getting stung here, but I put my suit on just because when you knock the bees down and you have a lot of them all over the place, it tends to be a little disconcerting. And also, why risk it at any given point? This is about as perfect as it gets. I can literally knock them right down in the box here and take them down. So I'm going to start spraying with my sugar water. This is going to do two things. It's going to make them wet so they cannot fly, and it's also going to make them groom themselves and be preoccupied with getting the sugar water off of themselves and each other, and therefore they should not be worried about me collecting them. So I'm going to be pretty liberal with this, but as I said, this is somewhat of a misnomer because of the fact that there's probably 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 bees here. It's a half of a hive, and I'm only getting the outside surface of this. And you can think about the Earth's crust. I'm only getting the crust, I'm not getting everything in between. So when I dump these bees, there's going to be a lot of bees in the air. It's nothing to be concerned about. Now what I have here is I have a cover, so I'm going to knock them right off, and then I'm going to slide the cover. And I'm going to take my time, nothing to be an emergency here about. One thing I am concerned about is there's weather coming, so the storm is, it looks like it's going to rain off here to our east, so I'm going to make sure that I take care of it. So here goes, you're going to see big, large clumps. You can actually bring the camera up here. Watch this, clunk, clunk. They're going to pretty much stay together. I'm going to get as many as I can. And I have to tell you, I've gotten
stung.
good majority of them. No,
Did you
I
get
didn't get
stung?
stung yet. Not yet. I'm going to cover them off. I'm going to take my time here. This lid is not the best idea. Pretty big pile, so you can see, and I'm literally just going to dump them in the hive, and the queen is in here somewhere. Want to hold this? I don't need the brush. Now when I dump them, I expect a bunch to go airborne. And the other thing I'm going to do here before I dump them, my spray bottle, is I'm going to spray the inside here with sugar water, which should make this a little more attractive for them. That's all there is to it. Just gently put them in and shake them down so they don't get crushed. Put some sugar water on here to make this more attractive to them.
3?
Who, me?
2, 3?
So now they'll just kind of stay in there, huh?
That's it.
That's so awesome.
So you can see the bees that are in the air are going to come back here and collect on the tree. The queen and the bees have left pheromone here, which is the signal. It's a chemical signal for where they gather. And they will keep coming back here and landing in preparation for going to swarm. They don't know that we just took their queen, but they have no better option. It is possible that the queen is still here, so we're going to make sure we collect the remnants of all the bees and get them inside the box. So if you look at this bee right here, it's got its abdomen up in the air and it's pumping. What it's doing is it's sending pheromone out. It's scenting with its Nasanov gland. That's a good sign, and I can see when I look through the hole that other bees are doing the same thing. What they're saying to the bees in the air is, here's a chemical scent, a track, come and follow it, the queen is inside the hive. And that's what they're doing. So as I see around here, here's another one scenting, and there's one of their friends on my fingers. Again, I'm not really concerned about being stung at all. It's been a few minutes here, so these bees have been flying around. They're starting to collect back on the branch, and I'm going to collect the rest of them and put them in the box here. I'm going to do the same procedure. I'm going to spray them with sugar water and knock them in and just add them to the collected hive in the hive box that we have. Not afraid about soaking them. It's almost 80 degrees today, so this is not a difficulty. I'm really going to get them wet here. Okay, they are literally drenched. And as I knock them in, they most likely will not be able to fly. The outside bees, at least, the ones I sprayed. The other thing is try not to smash or pinch any of the bees, because if you smash them, you're going to release alarm pheromone, and then they're going to respond to that. should be noted that the hive itself, where I put the major part of the colony, is closed. And the reason you want to do that is so that they don't leave the colony and fly back up here and form on the branch. All right, I've got what I'm going to get here. A couple on my hand. Shake them down, and I'm going to go dump them right in the box. Well, I said it was closed. I see a lot of them up here scenting. Here's a technique when you have a lot of bees on a cover and you don't want to smash them. What you do is you move the cover down slowly and you put a little pressure on them. And when you have pressure on them, they'll get out of the way and you don't smash any bees. They say third time's a charm. You can see what's here. It's maybe a softball-sized swarm left. I'm going to spray them one more time and collect what I can and put them in a box and call it a day. The bees that don't come home with us will leave this location and find some other hive somewhere. They'll realize that this is a lost hope. It is possible, if it doesn't rain tonight, that they'll still be here tomorrow waiting for their queen. But eventually they'll disperse for survival purposes. So I'm going to, one more time, spray them down. Really drenching them so they can't fly. Some of them are so wet they're falling. Ouch. I pinched a bee and I got stung. That's what happened. So I just scraped the stinger out. What happened, it was on the handle, and when I squeezed the handle it got me. So you squeeze them, they will sting you. They don't like that. That's the way it goes. So we collected the bees. We're going to take them home to our property and put them with our other hives. This swarm is a natural and instinctive behavior for a colony to reproduce. The queen bee is going to create enough bees in a hive this time of year in the spring and have abundant supplies of nectar and pollen that they have enough bees that they could sacrifice half the colony. The queen is going to create a new queen inside the hive, and she's going to take half the workforce off and create a new colony and reproduce. This is how the bees have reproduced for hundreds of millions of years. We want to thank the East Amwell Township School for the phone call on this swarm. As you can see, the bees have found their new home and they're out getting oriented to their new location. We'll take care of this hive and add a second box to it so it can overwinter and harvest some honey out of it next spring. And we'll always know these as the East Amwell School bees. And they make a good addition to our other hives, which are over there and going to town. The last thing we have to do here is go to our website and register this with the New Jersey Swarm Report. And you can check out the progress of this hive. We'll keep doing updates on it on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/NWNJBA. Thank you, East Amwell School, and we look forward to growing these ladies to a healthy colony.